Hello everybody and welcome back to KSP POV, where we play Kerbal Space Program in first person. I've got a couple things that I want to get started before we get into anything else, but sorry for teasing in the last episode saying that we were going to land on the Mun, but that is the goal for today. Whether or not we get it done, I will let editing me let you know that there, but regardless, we're going to do some fun things today. We've got Valentina Kerman and a cockpit, and I think enough technology to get to the Mun. We are going to want to pick up a few things since we have this 258, but I'm going to want to grab just a little more science to make sure we can afford everything. So I'm going to just do a quick little rover mission all around the KSC, collecting whatever residual science we have. And I'll leave that in the channel membership videos in the extended cut of today's episode. So if you want to check out, that quick little rove around mission, go ahead and check out our join button below. But anyways, I'll see you back here in a second when that's finished. Alright, so that netted us 38.7 science, bringing our total to more than what we needed. So that's good. Yeah, no XP gain from him. We chose Bob Long instead of Valentina to make sure that we didn't risk her. So first thing we're going to do here is upgrade the research and development for 451,000. We can swing it. It will leave us a little short, but it will also allow Kerbals to collect surface samples as well as get higher tech science, so that's going to be necessary. So I actually needed a little more science and just a little more than that, but this should give us all that we need. So let's go ahead and unlock what we want to unlock, and those are we are going to want advanced flight control. Now, we don't really need advanced flight control. I mean, the inline stabilizer is pretty nice. RCS will be good eventually, but by the time we need it, we'll probably end up unlocking better RCS. But that allows us to now unlock the second node of command modules, which gives us a two-seater as well as the Mach 1 lander can. And then the Mach 2 command pod, which is another two-seater. I don't think I have any IVAs installed for either of these, so we are going to be utilizing both the Mach 1 lander can and the Mach 1 command pod. So we're probably gonna take Bob along with us, or Bill, excuse me, the scientist, whichever Kerbal who wants to do some science. We're gonna take them along with us, and then the other node we're going to unlock is this miniaturization, which will be good when we start doing probes again, which we will be doing pretty soon once we head to Mid-Miss. We may also collect some residual science on the Mun. I'm not sure, but some of these pieces will be good for that. But primarily we're going to grab it right now for these EVA experiments kits, and this will allow us to pick up some new science as we go along in low and high space above the Mun. So that is the final goal of that. Oh, whoops, and we actually have to unlock this, so there we go. Yeah, we only had almost 14 points of science to remain, so glad we did that residual science. Anyways, let's get out of there, and let's make sure we have the Mun program still active. Yes, we do. We need to plant a flag. And we're good to go. So let's see if we have any missions involving that, and if we don't, we'll just jump into building. We're going to take this one because we may end up doing a docking maneuver in this mission. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure whether I want to do a direct descent or not, but let's check this out. We'll take it regardless. Okay, so I decided that I'm going to go with a direct ascent. We are going to wait until we've accessed a little bit better of a command pod, one that can house all three Kerbals, before I do a docking mission sort of thing. So, we're going to be doing a direct ascent, which means that we are the rocket that takes us there and lands us on the Mun will be the same rocket that takes us back and delivers us safely, as opposed to an Apollo-style mission where we have our landing pod and then a service module out in space that will dock. These two will dock together. Kerbals will get out of the landing pod into this one, and this will be the one that comes back home, leaving this one behind, which is a little more efficient because you don't need as much fuel on your lander. But it is, adds a whole other level of complexity that we don't necessarily need right now. So we're just going to build it bigger, build it better, and send it on its way. So what do we need for this? We're going to bring a scientist, which means that we are going to want some science for them to do. So we're going to pop on the science junior right there. Actually, let's put the science junior underneath because we don't necessarily need it to come home with us. It's going to be a little funky of a shape, but it'll be alright. And then we need roughly 1,000 delta V. Actually a little less than 1,000, but we're going to try to get ourselves some nice safe margins here. Okay, well that'll give us 1,800. It's more than we need, but you know what, we'll take it. And this is already starting to become a very tall rocket, so we're going to have to keep that in mind as we go along. We are going to need some sort of way for the Kerbal to get down there, because we can only bring one Science Junior with us, and so we're going to need our Kerbal to get out and reset it. Do I really not have access? I don't have access to any better ladders here, so we are going to... But do I have structural beams? I do have structural beams. So let's see if we can kind of make our own ladder here. I just tack in a couple of these on like so. And then we are going to clip the whole thing in just a little bit, just so it lines up with this. Alright, because we're going to need our scientists to be able to come down and get that. We are also going to want these EVA experiments to be done, but we don't have any sort of cargo bay for them, unfortunately. But we can put them in here. Yeah, we can put them in here. Alright, so we're going to do 4 EVA experiments. One in space, one on the Mun, one in space low above the Mun, one in space high above the Mun, and one in space high above Kerbin. Yeah, I think that's how it's gonna go. You know what? We're gonna put some mystery goo on there as well. Put it right there. Let's go ahead and remove this decoupler. Oh, so that is attached to the wrong piece. Yeah, it needs to be attached to the Science Junior because we are going to be tossing that on our way back. So, now that we have that, alright, cool. Let's go ahead and get our parachutes set up. And we can check our stage recovery mod to see how well that will save us. Not very well, unfortunately, so we're going to add couple more parachutes on there. Probably get rid of that one, right? Ooh, no, still not a good idea. Alright, well, let's play it safe and just have all those parachutes and keep it nice and organized. Speaking of keeping safe, now would be a good time to add the life support. So we're going to grab a service bay, open that up. And inside we're going to put our... Well, that's too big. We're going to put our reaction wheel in, as well as some batteries. We're going to just clip that in just a little bit. And then we're going to add our life support. So now we're going to have 2 Kerbals aboard, so it's going to use our resources twice as much, so we have to make sure we keep that in mind. So first we're going to put 2 waste containers, like so, and we're putting them in radial symmetry. Then we're putting 1 water container here, 1 oxygen container there, and 1 food container there. Alright, so that should fill out all of that. We're going to clip that in just a... Oops. Let's take off that. We're going to clip this in just a little bit. Make sure these are all nice and even. It's okay if they stick out a little bit. Alright, so that looks good. So we can close that and put that back. Let's put... Oh, that's no good. Doesn't know what it wants to attach to. Okay, so we are going to have to clip these things in more. There we go. Ooh, that was difficult. Let's not have to do that again, because it was unfortunate. All right, we are going to want some solar panels on here, especially ones that we can retract, so that way we can maintain electricity even when we don't have our larger panels. Let's check our life support, and we, with the current crew, with the max crew, yeah, let's just put our Kerbals in right now. We are going to bring Bob Kerman. There we go. Alright, so with our current crew, which is our max, 47 days of food, 70 days of water, 100 days of oxygen, 3 hours of electricity. That's not as important, and then 81 to 82 days of waste. I think I want to add just a little more to that, so we're going to move these solar panels down here and go back into life support, because we have 100 days worth of oxygen, so I think I want to bring these up to match that, because we'll have 81 days. We may add a little bit more to that as well. So let's see. We're going to want some food. We're going to put that like so. 91 days. All right, that's pretty good. And water. 137 days of water. Excellent. And let's throw one more waste on there. 120 days worth of waste. I definitely think we're going to be back well before this timeline runs out, but always want to be on the safe side. Always want to plan for potentially needing to rescue our Kerbals. I'm going to tuck them together like that. We're gonna slide our solar panels once again back up into the position that they were in before. Tuck them in a little bit. And that should be good. Alright. So I believe that is our return craft all taken care of. We got our heat shield. I'm not going to lower the ablator, not after last time. Yeah, that is all that it needs. Oh, cameras. We're going to need some cameras here. Okay. Let's see. Utilities. I do like these booster cams. I know that they work well. So let's go ahead and we're going to put one right there. Try to keep that out of the way of the door. And we're going to put one right there facing that way, because that will also help us align our solar panels if need be. Okay, I think that might be good. Let's set our IVA. Let's just do KSA. I really liked the KSA that we did in the last mission. We got used to it, so we'll put that there. Yep, that is good. You know what? Since there's some residual science with target scans as well on board cameras, we'll put 2 of those in. There we go. Okay. Cool. That looks good. Let us now build our... so we've got enough Delta V for a return trip on just this engine alone. So let's now add the engines and fuel tanks that will be taking us down to the surface of the Mun, as well as probably getting us there in the first place. When you have a direct ascent rocket like this, bigger is better. Alright, I like the style of that. And then we are going to add a fuel duct between these. See if we can't sneak it in right there. Keep it all nice and neat right there. Oh, that looks great. Excellent. Keeps everything out of the way. We are going to duplicate this little ladder that we made. There, get rid of the science experiments. We don't need those. It's not going to matter. The moon has, or excuse me, the Mun has pretty low gravity, so we'll be able to jump our way anywhere we need to go. But it doesn't hurt to have something to hold on to. Let's put these fuel tanks on top. Paint them orange. Alright, so now in order to get to the Mun and back, we're going to need a little under 3,000 Delta V. And as we see here, these tanks alone should be able to get us there. So we're going to do a quick test flight. Yeah, we're going to take a quick test flight, start in low Kerbin orbit, and see what we can get, what kind of performance we can get out of this, and if we need to change anything, and if so, what. Let's go ahead and throw some explosives on these right there, and some separatrons right there. Okay. Separatrons go there on that one, which goes below there. So staging is all correct. All right, cool. All right, once again, we are going to hop over the channel members. I'll see you in a second. We'll do this test flight, come back. Hopefully we don't need to change much. We just need to build a launch vehicle and then get it on out of there. Oh, and actually, I realized right before we go, again, once more, we're going to want solar panels on that. We're going to want to put in our action groups real fast. So let's action group 1. That's kind of all we need to do. We don't need to toggle any of the doors. We don't need any of that. Okay, so action group 2 will be observe mystery goo, onboard camera, and science junior. Oh, and crew report. There we go. That's going to be crew report, mystery goo, onboard camera, and Science Junior. Okay, so we've got all those on our action groups. I mean, we could put some communication dishes on here. I don't think we really need it. But you know what? Just for the sake of a little bit of realism, let's put. We don't need anything massive here. Alright, we'll put 2 of them right there, and we'll deploy those as well. You know, just to you know, take these and turn them into toggles instead of extents. Alright, just to, you know, a little bit of realism, make sure that we can connect our lander to mission control. We can communicate and whatnot. So this is pretty good. Let's see. What should the naming convention be for this? I'm going to name them after the feeling of the mission, and this one is the Vindicator 1. And that is because it is vindicating Jeb's death. He was avenged in the last one, but now his death will actually mean something because he will have given us a reason to take safety precautions, and if we can take these Kerbals and bring them back safely, we will have made him proud. Alright, let's test it out. Well, that worked out much better than I could have ever imagined. There were only a couple problems, one being that our lander can did not end up having the EVA experiments that we put in there. So we're gonna add those back in. Yeah, 4 of them. But we're also going to add them into the inventory of our Kerbal. I'm going to put an extra parachute in the Mach 1 command pod, and we're going to give him some of these as well. We don't need spare parts, and we don't need monopropellant, so we can get rid of those. And, you know, we don't need food or water. No, you know what, we'll keep it. We'll keep it. We don't need it in there, but we'll keep it. So that is all good. We do need landing legs. That was another big issue. So put those there. And these actually need to come down a little lower as well. So that way the center tank is not the lowest part like it was just a moment ago. Alright, let's start those retracted. Let's get another camera. Kind of would like to see the legs if possible. So let's put it on there. I feel like maybe rotate it just ever so slightly. There we go. Which means we could probably get rid of this camera. This one right here. Yeah, let's get rid of that camera. Let's get rid of all the cameras and restart it. So we want this one first. This one second. Alright, that's actually kind of all we need. I don't think we're going to be able to get a third camera on there. I just don't think it will show us anything. So that's fine. We're not going to be able to see the landing legs through this view, but we will definitely be able to see our landing. So that's nice. Let's also, while we can, just in case we have to land on the dark side of the mun, let's put some lights on there. We can tuck them in back here so they're a little more low profile. Excellent. And we are going to actually hook these lights into the landing gear stage. There we go. And we are going to put another set of lights here. There we go. And all we need to do, oops, move it back a little bit right there. And then all we're going to do here is remove that from symmetry. We're going to remove that from symmetry, and we're going to get rid of all the other ones. There we go. Because we only need light here. They could be staggered like that. Perfect. All right, and those will be toggled to regular light. And yeah, that will give us a little bit of clarity when we're moving around on the ladder doing our science. Okay, so considering the fact that this worked better than I possibly could have imagined, all we need to do is get this thing up into low curve in orbit without utilizing too much fuel, if any, from our side tanks. And if we can just get this into orbit, then this can handle everything. So if our lower stage can push us even slightly towards the mud, then we'll be doing good. So now let's see, we've got a payload. Can it might be able to. Let's drop the decoupler down a little bit. And we're gonna build our fairing out. There we go. Weird looking thing, but that'll keep us aerodynamic. Now hopefully we just have fuel tanks large enough to lift the thing.
Two hours later.
Alright, so this is going to be the launch vehicle. There was a lot of testing, a lot of failures, a lot of going back to the drawing board that we had to do, but so I'm unfortunately not going to include all that because it was just way too much, and I don't want to make the episode longer than it needs to be because we've got one heck of a mission ahead of us, so I want to just focus mostly on that. This section right here is way overkill. This will get us not only circularize, we needed it to circularize, but it will also get us to the mun. It'll get us into orbit of the mun. It could even get us most of the way landed. So we're going to end up using a lot less of this fuel than I had anticipated and planned for. However, we're going to keep everything the way that it is now. If anything, we may jump to more than one biome. We do have the possibility of doing that because we have a scientist aboard, so we can just collect all the science that we have available for this. We could put a couple more things on there, thermometer and whatnot, but I'm going to avoid that for now. We'll let the probes take care of that business. But yeah, so this is our rocket. It has quite the cluster of engines. Each of these 4 Reliants are centered with a swivel, so there is a little bit of gimbal control, but we also have these tail fins to add for control surfaces in atmospheric flight. And yeah, not much more to say about that. I am ready and excited to get this on the launch pad, and I hope you are as well. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna wait till morning because it is currently nighttime. I had to do all those tests in the dead of night, which wasn't fun, but we're gonna launch in the daytime because we have camera right here that will show us some of the action. So even though we're all wrapped up in a fairing, we'll still be able to see some of our launch. But anyways, I'm excited. Let's get going. All right, so here we are on the launch pad, early morning, getting ready for the mission of a lifetime. Valentina and Bob in the cockpit. And I am joined today by my co-pilot Peabody. Peabody, say hi. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the cockpit. So here we are in the Mach 1 command pod with Valentina. Turn on our lights, get our screens set up the way that we like them. SAS on. Excellent. Alright, so she is ready to go. Let's go ahead and swing down into the Mach 1 landing can and get Bob's area set up. I don't like this as much. We're going to go keep that. I don't like the lander can as much. It does offer this great window, which is going to be amazing for landing. We will swing in here when we eventually do that. But because the screens are on the left and the right side, it does, and just all of this kind of forces you to swing your head back and forth in order to see everything. So it's not my favorite. Definitely like the simplicity of the Mach 1 command pod on its own. Alright, so Bob's just going to keep an eye on everything, the logs, the crew, and specifically the science. Let's go ahead and get these lights on and hop back over to Valentina. There we go. Get the mission timer up. Alright, everything is ready. Let's get confirmation from mission control. Throttle up. And let's launch. See, in the Mach 1 command pod, you can just kind of keep your eyes in one location. You can see all the different stuff that you need to see. So we've got a healthy thrust to weight ratio of over 1.5, so we'll be fine for now. Our side boosters are asparagus stage. They've got fuel ducts going in there, so once they drop off, our center tank will be refilled. We are now going greater than 100 meters per second, so we can start tilting over a bit. We don't have a lot of gimbal control because we only are using our gimbal from our swivel engines, and there's only one on each of the clusters. However, our tail fins are going to be doing a good chunk of the work, at least while we're in this low atmosphere. Okay, careful not to tilt over too much. We're going to hold here for now, as best we can. Oh, we missed coming through the cloud layer, but that's okay. Got a lot of stuff to focus on. This is a very important mission after all. Looks like our side boosters are about to run out of fuel. Gonna lock our prograde. Just gonna tilt us down a little bit. We are reaching the higher altitudes for our apoapsis, and we are now going to be making it into space. We're gonna bring ourselves to about 111 or 115 kilometers. Oh, let's stage our side boosters. Nice clean separation right there. Love to see it. We are now at 40 kilometers, so we can, let's check this out. We'll see, extra cameras, next, and stage. Nice view of the outside. Oh, we are well above the apoapsis that we wanted to be at. Got caught up in the beauty of everything. Look at that. Alright. Back to Valentina. Alright, we are going to use MacLeod to plot a maneuver to circularize at the next apoapsis. Let's go ahead and bring that screen up. Let's say, okay, so minute and 53 second burn. So that's not too big a problem. 1,332 delta V. It's going to use up all the rest of the fuel in this stage and a bit in this. Not very much though in that. Oops. Went past our position. Go ahead and crank that back a little bit. Because we are in space right now. So it's good. We can go ahead and deploy, do our deploy action group, which gets our solar panels out as well as the communications dishes. To really try to oh, we're still locked to prograde. That's why we can't line up with our node. Alright, we are cutting it close on our burn time because we're not actually lined up just yet. But I think it'll be okay. And at 57 or some odd 55, let's just say 55. 55 seconds to the node, and we are just going to, oh, this thing likes to rock back and forth. We're going to burn until we bring our periapsis out. Alright, and we stage. Ground proximity warning can be turned off for now. Let's lock to prograde. Relying less on our maneuver now and more on just the information here. Gonna try to circularize as best as possible. Because we've got plenty of fuel. Alright, there we go. Put ground proximity warning back on. And we're going to go ahead and remove the node. So got that. Next we're going to want to target the MUN, and we're going to use Astrogator to plot in a burn for it. We'll plot in the maneuver. We're going to have to handle the burn. So at 816 meters per second delta V in 22 minutes and 40 some odd seconds, with a burn time of 2 minutes and 8 seconds, meaning that we need to burn at 1 minute and 4 seconds to the node. Easy enough. But while we have some time and we are in a stable orbit, let's go ahead and put Bob to work. We've gotten some of the science here in low Kerbin orbit. However, there is some residuals to be had, and that's primarily what we have on us. Plus, we have the new EVA experiment to be done, so we're going to check that out as well. But 25 points for the material science bay because we've never done that before. Excellent. 5 science for a crew report. Guess we never did a crew report in low Kerbin, so there we go. Target scanning, more residuals. Mystery goo, very small residuals, but still good enough nonetheless. We don't need that screen. And now, Bob is going to be getting to work already before they've even left view of the KSC. But he's going to go ahead and hop out. Go on EVA. And first thing he's going to do is take the data from the crew report. He's going to collect the data and restore the mystery goo. He's going to take the data off the onboard camera and collect the data and restore the Science Junior. Next thing he's going to do is make a small prayer. Let go of the ladder, turn on his RCS and his flashlight, and float back just a little bit. He wants to do an EVA report for 8 science and perform an EVA science. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Hey, that's not too bad. 25 science for that. That's excellent. I'm so glad we brought those. Okay. Oh, now we're glitched a little bit. Okay. Getting our bearings. There we go, and we can just grab a hold of the ladder and start climbing. See, I'm glad that we put that ladder there. Alright, let's go ahead and board. And now, because we're in the free IVA mod, we can actually float around the cockpit or the landing can with the greatest of ease. But we're going to go ahead and hop back into our chair and let Valentina do her part of the job and get us to the MUN. Okay, so at 1:04 seconds, we will start our burn, and we'll see. We see here that we're actually close to the phase angle. We could have just gone by that alone. However, utilizing Astrogator, we're just gonna use the course that plotted. All right, so now let's just burn until we make it out. We have plenty of Delta V in our tank. In fact, we're gonna end up utilizing some of that Delta V to circularize and potentially even land. Yeah, this craft was well overbuilt, but that's okay. We can afford it. So we're just going to keep an eye on this closest approach, the Delta V as well, but the closest approach is what is going to determine where we come in, where our periapsis is going to be. So I want to keep this nice and low, come in at a nice soft landing at a low altitude, so we can also get the science of in space low without having to do it on a collision course. So 5 millimeters, 3, 2, 1. We're going to kill our speed and just coast in ever so slightly. Just tapping on the throttle. Coming on in till we get ourselves closest approach. Let's say 23. 23.77. Excellent. Oh yeah, one fun thing we can do here is we can let Bob clear our node for us. It's very helpful. Alright, so yeah, so there's not a lot left to do right now until we get to where we need to go. Let's see, can we rotate ourselves to see any kind of sunlight? I think that's the moon right there. I don't think so. But that's okay because I think we're on the dark side of the planet anyways. So we'll get some later. Let's go ahead and point ourselves retrograde. Let's point ourselves retrograde for now, and we'll see if we can find some sunlight a little bit later. Our power supply is dwindling, and our consumption's kind of jumping around. So we might have to keep an eye on that as we go along. But it wasn't a problem in our test flights, so I'm not too worried. But anyways, let's go ahead and time warp our way into high space. We'll get Bob out, do another EVA report, material science bay and whatnot, and then we'll hop into the MUN sphere of influence, and then we can really get started. So with an hour left to go until we reach the MUN sphere of influence, I'm going to let our craft turn around. Oh, there's the sun. I'm going to let our craft turn around, face retrograde, and then we're going to get Bob in control. Yep, we are spaced high above curve, and we've already made 81 bits of science. That's excellent. Love to see that. So let's go ahead and hit Science 2. We're going to go ahead and unbuckle our seatbelt once more and go on EVA. Gonna scoot our way down. Oh, wait. Gonna grab the crew report and scoot our way down. And the mystery goo is on this side now. Same with the target scanning and the materials bay as always. Let's go ahead and store the materials for now. Alright, now for the hard part. We're gonna let go. Turn our RCS on. Float back a little bit. Grab an EVA report we don't need, apparently. Valentina had already gotten it when she passed by the mun. Ooh. Did our science in first person mode. Well, that's fun. 37.5. Excellent. Alright, but we need to get back to our craft because it's starting to spin in a way that is making me very uncomfortable. Okay. A little risky, but we made it. Back on board. All of that science has been collected. We are now at 154. Love to see it. Let's transfer back to Valentina and say goodbye to Kerbin. Make our way to the mun. And there we have it. We are now in the Mun's sphere of influence. Which means that, let's point ourselves retrograde. See if we can't get a good view of it as we approach. Of course not. Too far away. Okay. Nonetheless, time once again to get Bob, do some science. Do science 1 this time, once again. 50 science, in space high over the mun with the material study, that's excellent. Crew report gives us nothing. Target scan, more diminishing results. Mystery goo, barely any science at all, but it's the last time we need to do it. Whoops. Alright. So now, once again, out we go. Climbing down the ladder, collecting the data, restoring the goo, taking the data, and restoring materials. There we go. We've got another EVA to do, but I don't think we need to do the report. The EVA report. There's the mun. Nice. Hey, Bob is so happy. Let's get him to do that. Oh, whoops, we don't need that. Let's get him to do the EVA science. Wow, look at him. So good. Bob is in his element. 50 science for that. That's what I like to see. Alright. Once again, we are starting to lose our craft. So we need to stop dilly-dallying, messing around. And grab the ladder. Okay. Back aboard. Enter your seat. 230 science. And once again, puts the control back in Valentina's hand. Alright, so now we need to plot ourselves a maneuver to circularize at the next periapsis. which will put us, yeah, we got that there. Right there. Right there. Excellent. So now once again, we just time warp our way. 35-second burn. Not too shabby. And we're time warping our way close, but making sure we don't pass it. Don't want to have to come in on a second pass. Still not seeing any visual signs that we're even close to the Mun, but now I think we're on the dark side, so it's not going to matter. We're not going to be able to see anything anyway. So let's make sure we are lined up with our maneuver still. Yes, we are. What's our electric charge? Oh, we're fully charged. Nice. All right, let's do it. Can lock to retrograde now because we're pointed basically right at it, and fire. And we're watching our apoapsis drop, and once it circularizes, we can kill our engine. And cut. Ooh, that was pretty close. That was nice. All right. Switch over to Bob. And clear that node. And we haven't done the science in space low yet, so let's go ahead and get that started. 75. That is excellent. We're going to be able to unlock quite a bit once we get back. Crew reports nothing. Target scanning is, again, residuals, but 18. Pretty good. Mystery goo, 1.6. Last we'll ever need to do that. And for that EVA report, or not the report, but the experiment, we should also be getting quite a bit. Alright, so yeah. Take the data. Collect the data, restore. Take the data. Collect the data and restore. Is there a Mun to see? Oh, there is, kind of. I want to get a nice shot of him doing science. There we go. Oh, it's so much fun. And I think this is actually a real life experiment too. Someone did something similar to this. I don't know if they were spinning around like that, but alright, Bob, you're gonna make me sick. Oh, nice. The came around for another pass. Okay, this is going to be a little awkward though. Trying to time it up and grab it Okay, no, don't bump into that. Just don't lose control like I'm doing right now. Okay, I don't want to play the music. Don't make me play the music. The tense, everything might go wrong music. We got this, we got this. Yeah, we didn't need to play the music. Whew. 298 bits of science. Bob, you are killing it. Alright. So now it is time, once again, to return control to Valentina Kerman. We are going to find ourselves a place to touch down. And it's probably going to be on the other side of the Mun. Alright, so we can see it here. We can see that it's daylight. Because we want to make sure that we land in the daylight. There we go. Alright, that's actually looking... Let's bring it up here. Look at that. So nice having better quality cameras. I do love the low-tech analog style IVA mods. It's so much fun playing that way, but once you can get the access to the better visuals, it's just so gorgeous. Anyways, let's fire our engines. We're gonna come in at basically a vertical drop. We're gonna just drop straight down from where we're at. We don't have the benefit of a suicide countdown timer, and so we're just going to try to take this nice and easy. Just feather the throttle until we can make sure that we land safely. And we can check out our horizontal velocity here. Nice, that is the last of our fuel. Yes, we know that we are hitting the ground. Let's get rid of that, which is nice because that means that it will deorbit and no longer be space trash. Always good to see. Alright, what's our trajectory looking like? I think we could do better. I want to come down very, very nice, very easy. I don't want to have to deal with two different velocities. Let's just deal with vertical. We'll deal with horizontal at another time. Alright. And we see this is starting to creep up. And we'll call it there. Alright, so if we go back to our nav screen, that tells us our horizontal velocity is still 7.7, but let's turn it surface, because that is important. Crank that up a little bit. We can just tap it ever so slightly. Alright, so our horizontal velocity is very low. And the slope angle, we're going to be coming down on something that's very low, as a low slope angle. So that is nice. All in all, I think that's pretty successful. Let's lock ourselves retrograde. Let's drop our gear now. Bob presses his face against the window and just gets such a glorious view of the ground. Parallax just really coming in handy. Alright, so now we know that our vertical velocity is 72 and climbing. And we are 17 kilometers above the surface. Get all of our lights on. And there's nothing more to do. Our altitude warning is at 200, so once we hear that little buzzer, we know that we are coming down. And that's 200 meters. Alright, so it's going to be 1 minute and 16 seconds till we impact, so let's time warp a little closer. Careful not to get too close. Let's see what kind of thrust to weight ratio we got. 6.71. It's not the best. We're still needing to really throttle down that vertical velocity, but it's managing. Alright, so now that it's around 50, we can time warp closer again. At the 1 kilometer mark, we'll once again revisit our engines. But I don't think it'll take us more than a kilometer to slow down. Alright, coming in a lot better. Take this nice and easy, Valentina. You got this. Don't worry about fuel. You got plenty. There's that warning, 200 meters. (120 meters above the surface). Keep our vertical velocity down. So, straighten up, straighten up, straighten up. Okay. Oh, and those rocks have collision. Ooh, that was a little bit rougher of a landing than I'd hope for. But we are upright, it seems, for the time being anyways. We made it! We have landed on the Mun, everybody. Let's go ahead and turn our engines off for now and lock our stage. Mission control. The Vindicator has landed. Ooh. Valentina fell face first into the console as she unbuckled herself. Got a cramped space in this capsule, but she is adamant about being the first to land feet on the Mun. Ooh, starting to fall down the ladder a little bit. So she grabs it, so she calmly step foot on the surface. Oh, there we go. Takes a couple steps back. There are, of course, moon rocks in the way. Oh, gotta get the RCS pack going. So it was quite a rocky area that we find ourselves in. But this seems like a good enough spot to plant a flag. There she goes, planting a flag on the Mun. The flag, of course, being the Mun flag. Oh, it's a little too dark to see right here. Valentina, give us some light, would ya? There it is. The Mun flag on the Mun. That is the first of many. Time to switch back to Bob, though, because he is itching to do some science. 100 science for the material studies, wonderful. 20 science for a crew report, 32 for the target scan, 40 for the mystery goo. Bring us to 346, and he's about to get a whole lot more. Oh, hey, look, it's Jewel. Say hi, Valentina. Gonna be going there soon, too. And 120 science for the surface sample. Wonderful. Alright, so now Bob has one last quest to do. And that is to find and bring back a Munstone. So he's going to tell Valentina, wish him luck, and Valentina is going to head back. Valentina is going to head back into the Mach 1 command pod and get ready for the next part of the journey. Safe and sound, buckled back in her seat. Plenty of life support. However, Bob does not, so we are going to go get him once again. And we are going to start looking for this Munstone because he does not have a lot of life support just packed into his suit. We can be out for 5 hours and 56 minutes total. So let's get started. We are, however, using parallax, and unfortunately the breaking ground surface features are pretty hard to find without turning on the surface feature finder. So let's go see if we can see which one is the nearest one. Ooh. I think those look. Oh, whoa. Ooh. Oh, he's having a real hard time maneuvering over those stones. Ooh. And he needs to make sure not to hit with too much velocity that he hurts himself. Feel like those stones are close and within reach. Maybe not. Oh, now that I'm up in the air, they do look a lot farther away. Oh, that one looks close. Oh, we gotta slow down, we gotta slow down. Oh no, we were going very fast. Okay. Let's not spaghettify. Whew. Space is dangerous. Alright, it's significantly less rocky here. We'll deal with this weird little head bob. We're gonna walk our way over there. But that is not a moonstone. Shoot. Oh, Bob can just not get the hang of an RCS pack on a body with gravitational pull. But look, he found something. And climb right on inside and see what he can see. It's a little asteroid crater, seems like. We're gonna go ahead and, oh shoot. Yeah, we'll take a surface sample. We're gonna overwrite the other surface sample we have. Oh, it seems to be the same surface sample. Okay, well that's fine. Take an EVA report. This one will give us 32 science. Excellent. I feel like there's something I can do with this thing though. No, doesn't look like it. I feel like, oh, maybe we can only scan it with the scanning arm. Okay. Let's keep going. Turned on this extra feature to help find it because that was a big one we were able to see pretty easily, but I think the Mudstone's going to be kind of small. Alright, so we gotta just make sure we're not going so fast that we can't slow down. Alright, so what is this thing? Yeah, see, I needed to see exactly where it is. Ooh, alright, getting the hang of that. What are you? Nothing of importance, it seems. There's no red marker. Oh, there is a red marker above. Was this a Mudstone that I can't take? Oh, it is. Pick up Mudstone. Excellent. So let's go ahead and grab that. And there we go. Bob Kerman has done it. 120 science, but we cannot transmit it, of course. We have to bring it back. And that will satisfy this contract. Bring a Mudstone back with you. Excellent. And as we see here, come on. Right there, we have completed the MUD program. Successfully completed the Strategia, from the Strategia MUD. Now, the real question is, which way do we go to get back? Oh, what now? Oh, is our stuff running out? No, we still have plenty of oxygen. I don't know what that warning is for. Where is my target? Alright, Valentina is going to help him out by placing a waypoint at her active location. And since Bob is close enough, he can see it on his little HUD. And now he can start to navigate and hopefully do so without killing himself. Because once again, space is dangerous, Bob. You gotta remember that. Well, we don't want speed according to the target. We want speed according to the surface. Very important distinction. Alright, so now we can start slowing ourselves down. Can delete that waypoint. Okay, coming in a little hot. There we go. Hey, what a landing. Okay, so what we want to do, because he's almost ready to go. He's almost ready. So we are going to grab a hold of this and store all of the experiments that we've gotten so far. Because I'm not sure if the surface sample I took over there is the same as the surface sample I took over here. So let's go ahead and just take another surface sample. Oh yeah, we didn't do our EVA science. Let's do that. Yep, playing golf in space. Wonderful. So that's going to come around full circle once it hits an orbit and hits you right in the back of the head. Good to see. $100 science for that. That was pretty excellent. Let's go ahead and grab that. Hop back into the thing. Oh, that was probably a surface sample that we got 2 of. Alright, so that was pretty successful. See what kind of science we got. We've got 439 just from that alone. So, what can we do? We've got quite a bit of Delta V left. If we turn our engines back on, we see that we have 2,000, and we don't need that much to get back to Kerbin. So, I think we should try to do another landing, right? One good landing deserves another. Let's go hop. Go on go to another biome. But see, the problem is I don't know where we are on the map. I could check the map view, but I don't think I want to. I think I want to keep this solely IVA. So that is the problem. Because yeah, we definitely have enough fuel to get ourselves home. All right, let's give it a shot. Let's turn SAS back on and launch. We're gonna head east. We're gonna push it out a ways. Point prograde. And let's call it there. So now let's point retrograde. And hopefully we can get a different biome. I feel like we might not. Actually, I don't know. We're covering some good distance there. All right. Horizontal velocity is pretty ridiculous, so let's bring that down first. We're actually not going to lock retrograde. We're going to just lock horizontally. Make sure that we're in surface mode. Alright, well that is all we're gonna shave off that in that way. So let's go ahead here. Slope angle, once again, fairly decent. And still on orange. So hopefully we landed in a new biome, and then that wasn't for nothing. Because this is probably the only biome we're gonna hop. Alright, time warp our way closer to the surface. Oh yeah. This is what Bob gets to see when we come in for a landing. Just above the mud. Oh, this might be a little more dangerous than I had expected. Than I would have wanted. Okay, we're only 100 meters above the surface. Okay, we've got this. We've got this. Lock to retrograde. Our gear is deployed. 83. Killer velocity. 30. 15 killer velocity. 8 killer velocity. 5 killer velocity. And land. Contact. We didn't fall over. Bob, tell me we're in a different place. We are in the lowlands. Yes. Nice job all around. 40 science for the goo, 20 for the crew report, 32 for the target, 40 for the goo. Oh, the materials bay was in there somewhere. Why are we sliding? Why are we sliding? Why are we sliding? Let's tilt ourselves a little bit. Well, it doesn't matter too much as long as we don't tip over. Bob, go out there, grab a surface sample, and another EVA science report. EVA report and science experiment. And don't tip the rocket over when you get out. Don't know why we're sliding, but I don't like it. Alright, Bob, get back in. Stop messing around. We need to go. It's time to go home. $439 science in total. We might be able to take a surface sample whenever we land on Kerbin. But all in all, that was successful, especially for not being a science-focused mission, you know? But anyways, we're still sliding. I don't like that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves out of here. I think we may head west, see if we can get a weird, better return than if we were to go east. I'm not entirely sure if that will work, but we shall see. Let's put our gear up because we don't need it anymore. Get our orbital screen up. Say goodbye to the mun. Oh, we don't need to go that high. You know what we're gonna do? We are going to circularize. Instead of just heading on out and just leaving the sphere of influence, we're going to circularize at the next apoapsis. Let's line ourselves up with that maneuver, and we are going to plot in an escape maneuver from Astrogator. Instead of just eyeballing it and going with whatever we do first, we're going to actually do this correctly. Well, I don't know about correctly, but with a little bit more precision. Alright, and 3, 2, 1, fire. And good enough. Alright, so now we can remove that node. We're going to target Kerbin and plot in an Astrogator. Interesting. Inclination accuracy too low to plot. What? Inclination is too Weird. Okay, well, I mean, our inclination is pretty ridiculous right here, so, I mean, it makes sense, I guess, but, alright, well, let's just burn for carbon. It doesn't really matter. We'll fix our orbit when we get it then. Alright, so we're just gonna take that and see what that does. You know, we don't need these lights on as much. There we go. That's nicer. Alright, so all we need to do is time warp our way out of the Mud Sphere event. So let's say goodbye. It's been a pleasure. We've only there for just a short little while, but you know what? We still haven't gotten ourselves home, so we may need those life support yet. Alright, so we're just gonna time warp our way to the exit. And hopefully we're not on an escape trajectory and end up orbiting the sun. Alright, so pretty high orbit around Kerbin. Periapsis is 10 million. I'm sure we can do something to fix that. So let us, we're not even going to plot a maneuver here. We're just going to time warp our way out to the apoapsis. Okay, alright, so we're close. Ah, an hour and 15 minutes. Cool. Point ourselves retrograde. Nothing really to see on the cameras. Alright, and so we're just going to burn until we bring down our periapsis to just above the Kármán line. Ooh, that's a little too far. Let's flip it around because we've got plenty of delta V. We're gonna circularize as best we can and bring our angle of attack to a much better place. All right, 75.9 kilometers above the surface. Let us plot in. Circularize at the next periapsis. A minute and 20 seconds of burn. Let's see. That doesn't tell us. Okay, so this is our total. Let's see our stage. So we have 157 delta V. That's going to take 911, but we have more than 911 in our total, so I think we're gonna be good. So let's just time warp our way closer to the maneuver and try not to go over. Okay, 6 minutes and 27 seconds to the maneuver. There's Kerbin, looking great. So we're going to get ourselves lined up with the maneuver node and then come on in. And at the 42 mark, we fire. We're just going to keep an eye on the apoapsis. Oh, we need to stage. Oh, whoops. Stage. Oh, those will explode. Nice, I forgot about those are exploding until the very last moment. Alright, we can lock retrograde. And we should have enough delta V to circularize. And at this low height of circularization, it should take us no delta V at all just to come back into the surface. I don't know where we are at as far as which would be where a good place for landing be. I don't want to come in the night. I want to come in during the daytime. Which is what we're above right now, and that looks like the ocean? I don't know, I can't tell. Is that the desert with a little bit of water there? Not sure. Alright, so let's say goodbye to the planet. Yeah, we had must been like midday right there. Yeah, see, if we had burnt down, definitely be coming in on the dark side. So this is the horizon line here. So this right here will probably be dawn. Periapsis below. Oh, our periapsis is within the atmosphere. Interesting. We're actually... Periapsis is coming up here. Also interesting. So, we could, at our periapsis, burn a little bit and come in right here. Yeah, because there's that. All right, so let's just let's do that. Start burning now. Bring our periapsis down to 40 kilometers. Time warp our way forward a little bit. Yeah, we're already in the atmosphere. Okay, so let's real fast before we get caught up with the fire, let's stage off the lower stage. Alright, and then there's nothing we need from this screen anymore. So we'll put it onto that one. Switch that one over there. Kill them. Alright. We are looking good. So now we are dead in the water. We have no propulsion, no fuel, no way of changing our course, our trajectory. Thankfully, we are on our way back down with a periapsis of 40 kilometers and even an apoapsis of below 70. There's no chance that we are going to get lost in space. It's always a good thing. Alright, so let's time warp our way down to the surface. Beautiful blue orb as we come in. Ground proximity, yes, we know we are coming down. Thank you very much. So we do need to have these screens up as much as possible, but we do need to keep an eye on our temperature. As we see here, heat starting to build. Bob Kerman gets the front row seat to it. If our pod temperature starts heating up too much, we will have to go into a spin maneuver because that's a good way of dissipating heat. Oof, running around a little bit. And just like that, the heating is stopped. We are now on our way back down. We could probably kill the SAS. Ooh, that did shift us around a lot. Okay, let's turn SAS back on. Oh, we weren't even pointing retrograde. I don't know. That flipped us around so much, I wasn't sure what was that. I figured we could go without SAS, but not yet, apparently. Alright, so it says that our chutes are safe to deploy, but I am going to wait a little bit until we get through this cloud layer. But it does look like we're going to land in the ocean, which is always nice. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. Okay, let's go ahead and activate our chutes. See them pop open there. There we go. Are we going to land on an island? What's going on there? Bob, can you see? We are going to land on an island. What island is this? Interesting. Did y'all find a secret island that we don't know about? Okay, I actually do want to see this in map view though. Hold on. Where is this? Oh, of course I can't see with that well off the coast of the KSC. Interesting. Gonna have to place a waypoint down there when we land. All right, and so we are now descending at 10 meters per second, and our chutes just opened even further, which is bringing us down to a much safer speed of 3.89. We've been able to land with 8 meters per second of speed, so it's not a great landing, but we do know that at 8 meters per second we can survive, so at 3.8 we should be doing good. I'm definitely gonna have to stretch my legs once we land. Let's time warp our way down, or physics warp I should say. Let's get rid of that flashing light. That's so funny. $200 meters from the ground. Still falling at a relatively safe speed. 40 meters. Let's go ahead and kill our time warp just in case, because it is physics warp, just in case the physics decide to cracken out. Do the best we can. Oh, there we go. Looks like a rocky shoreline. Very interesting. Bob, you get the honors of going out and taking a surface sample. We're only on Kerbin Shore, so nothing too big to brag about, but nonetheless, grab some of that sand before heading back. It'll make a nice little trophy and a jar back home on the desk. And Bob's gonna hit one more golf ball to commemorate the trip before they call for rescue, and put a close to the MUN program for now. There will be more probes that go landing on there, collecting some residual science, but until we get the opportunity to set up a science lab, there's not much that we're going to be needing to do there. We will probably put a space station in orbit when we do get access to that science. Oh, don't need to go that far. When we do get access to that science, we'll probably place a space station there, and on it place the science lab, and then process a bunch of science there, or we may just make the lab go straight to Minmus. But either way, we're probably going to start turning our eyes towards Minmus once again, and start plotting expeditions out that way to get even more science, to unlock even more things. And I'm really excited in finally going interplanetary in a KSP POV series. We've only done it in our KXP and our Escaping Kerbin series, so I want to see what going interplanetary is like as the astronaut, as opposed to just Gene Kerman behind the desk. But anyways, that's where I'm going to leave today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward for more KSP POV. If you did, please consider subscribing. Drop me a like, let me know your thoughts, and I will see y'all in the next one. Take care.